He hated one of his twin daughters from birth just because. In a small town in Abuja, Nigeria, Ava and Olivia's love story was admired by all. But tragedy struck when Ethan died while giving birth to their twin daughters Ava and Olivia. Oscar, devastated, blamed the second twin Ava for his wife's death, showing her nothing but disdain while lavishing all her love on Olive, the first twin. Ava grew up in a household where her father and twin sister mistreated her, relegating her to a life of servitude. Despite her intelligence, Ava was denied opportunities including education. Olive, on the other hand, enjoyed her father's love, received everything she desired, and even married a wealthy man. The story takes a darker turn when Olive's husband, Adam, starts abusing Ava. When Ava finally speaks up, her sister refuses to believe her and throws her out of the house. Homeless and alone, Ava is rescued by a kind stranger, Eli, and his two sisters. They offer her a new home, love, and the chance to pursue her dreams. Under their care, Ava finally begins to rebuild her life, gaining confidence and self-worth while finding the family she never had. Over the next few years, Ava blossomed into a confident young woman, excelling in her studies. Her time with Eli and his sisters gave her a sense of belonging and a renewed sense of self-worth. She graduated with top honors, and as she walked across the stage to receive her degree, she could hardly believe how far she had come. It was a moment she had only dreamed of, and she owed so much of her success to the kindness of Eli and his family. After graduation, Eli threw her a small, intimate celebration with a few close friends and family. As the night drew on, Eli, who had always hidden his feelings for Ava, couldn't help but feel overwhelmed with emotion. He had watched her grow from a broken girl into a successful woman, and his admiration for her had deepened into something more. That night, as they stood on the balcony watching the stars, he finally confessed, "Ava, I've watched you grow into someone so strong and remarkable. I've wanted to tell you this for a long time, but I didn't want to influence your decisions or pressure you in any way. But I love you, Ava. And not just as a friend or someone I've helped. I've fallen in love with the woman you've become. But no matter what, I'll always respect your choice. I just needed you to know how I feel." Ava was taken aback. She had sensed Eli's feelings but had never truly believed he could love someone like her after everything she'd been through. She looked into his eyes, feeling a mix of emotions, gratitude, fear, but also a deep affection she hadn't acknowledged before. Before she could respond, Eli continued, "But I also want to make sure that this is your decision. If you don't feel the same way, I will always support you and be there for you as your friend." Ava took a deep breath. "Eli, you've been nothing but kind to me even when I didn't think I deserved it. You've shown me what it feels like to be loved and respected. I've never really thought about love in that way because I didn't think it was something for me, but I realize now. I do care about you deeply. Maybe I've been afraid to admit it, but I think I feel the same way." Eli smiled, relief and joy spreading across his face. They stood there in silence for a few moments, the night air filled with possibility. But just as things seemed to be taking a turn for the better, Ava's phone buzzed with an unfamiliar number. She hesitated but answered. It was her father, Oscar. "Ava, it's your father. I don't know how to say this. Your sister, Olivia, she's in trouble. We need your help." Ava's heart sank. After all these years of silence, her father had never once reached out, not even after throwing her out like a stray. Now here he was asking for her help. She paused, torn between the life she had built with Eli and the pain of her past that her father and sister represented. "What kind of trouble?" she asked, her voice guarded. "Olivia's husband. Andrew, he left her. He took everything. Olivia's lost the house, the cars, everything. She's homeless and she has no one else to turn to." Ava could barely believe what she was hearing. The same sister who had mocked and mistreated her for years was now in the same desperate situation she had once been in. "Ava, please," her father continued, his voice breaking. "I know we were wrong and I know I failed you as a father. But Olivia has no one. She's your twin. Please, if you don't help her, she'll have nowhere to go." Ava felt a wave of emotions crash over her. After all the hurt, the rejection, and the years of being made to feel like she didn't belong, they were finally coming to her for help. And for the first time in her life, Ava realized she had the power to decide what came next. She glanced at Eli, who had been listening silently beside her. His steady presence reassured her, but the decision was hers alone to make. Should she help the sister who had tormented her, or should she finally let go of the past and focus on her new life? The answer wasn't simple, and Ava knew whatever she chose would shape the rest of her life. "What should I do?" she whispered, more to herself than to Eli. Eli looked at her gently. Whatever decision you make, Ava, do it for yourself. Not for them. You deserve peace, whether that means helping them or moving on. But whatever you choose, I'll be by your side. Ava stared at the night sky, the weight of her decision heavy in her chest. She had the power now, but with that power came the question of forgiveness, something she had never truly considered. And with her father's plea still ringing in her ears, Ava knew her past had finally caught up with her. But what would her future be? Ava stood in silence, her mind swirling with thoughts and emotions she hadn't fully processed in years. Forgiveness had never been something she thought she'd have to consider, not after everything her family had done. But standing there with Eli by her side, she realized that her choice wasn't just about them, it was about her own healing. She took a deep breath and made the decision that felt right for her. I'll help her, Ava finally said, her voice soft but resolute. Not because I owe her anything, but because I don't want to carry this weight anymore. I need to move forward, and maybe this is how I start. Eli smiled at her, pride evident in his eyes. You're incredible, Ava. The next day, Ava called her father. She offered her sister a place to stay temporarily, but with conditions, respect and boundaries, the things her family had failed to give her. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she also knew she was stronger now. She wasn't the broken girl they had cast aside. She was someone who had built a life of her own, filled with love, strength, and hope for the future. When Olivia arrived at Ava's door, the look on her face was one of disbelief. For the first time, Ava saw vulnerability in her sister's eyes. Olivia hugged her tightly, and though the pain of their past wasn't erased, Ava felt the first stirrings of peace in her heart. As the days turned into weeks, the relationship between Ava and Olivia slowly began to heal. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. Ava realized that in helping her sister, she was also helping herself, letting go of years of anger and hurt. And through it all, Eli remained by her side, their love growing stronger with each passing day. 6 months later, Ava stood in front of a room full of people, giving a talk about her journey. She had started a foundation to support women who had been through similar struggles, offering them not just financial help but emotional support, mentorship, and a sense of community. Life doesn't always give you the family you deserve, Ava said, her voice strong and steady. But it does give you the power to choose who you become, despite the odds. For a long time, I let my past define me. Now, I've learned that it's not about what happens to you, but about how you rise from it. The audience erupted in applause, and as Ava stepped down from the stage, Eli was there, waiting for her with open arms. Her journey wasn't over, but she had come so far. Ava's story is a reminder that no matter where you come from or what you've been through, you have the power to shape your future. If you or someone you know is struggling with family trauma, difficult relationships, or finding your path in life, remember, there's always a way forward. Share this video with someone who might need to hear Ava's message, and let's continue the conversation about healing, growth, and self-discovery. Subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories, and don't forget to leave a comment below about what resonated with you most. We're all on this journey together, and your voice matters.